Hello and welcome to my 4,400 day hardcore world. I'm RayneofKalamity, and last time we started our villager space program. Now this is a lovely machine designed to launch villagers up, triggering the lights over and down onto Villager Island so that I may move them over onto the trading hall side of the island with ease. Now the entire island is going to be the trading hall, but as of today, that is not what we are working on. We are mostly going to be working on the VSP itself. Now, it is clearly and obviously ugly. It is an eyesore. It is hideous. It needs an exterior. And, well, the decision has been made kind of unanimously by my chat where I stream this entire world, twitch.tv/RayneofKalamity. Feel free to go follow or hit that like button and subscribe for more content. But we decided this lovely building, our NASA of Minecraft, is used to launch wandering traders and their llamas. The llamas using their spit in a kind of A-team style way to shoot at the ground so WanDT may land successfully. And with that in mind, this building is going to be sort of dedicated to the wandering trader. Blue, red, gold. It's going to be fancy. It's going to be fine. It's going to be divine. We're going to use it to launch a lot of villagers in the sky and watch some pretty lights. But for now, we're going to get to this. We have a lot of blocks to collect because I have no idea where we're starting or how we're doing this or what style it's going to be in. If you're watching this, no, I just finished editing the actual video of doing the redstone, which we finished like yesterday, I think. I don't know. It's been like all of 48 hours since we built this, and I have no idea what I'm doing, so let's get to it. And after a quick stop at the storage room, I found all the things I thought I was gonna need, from nether wart to concrete powder of both blue and yellow, gold, honeycomb, glass, all the things I thought I was gonna use to make this look like a wandering trader's office and building. Then I began trying to figure out the actual layout of the building, where the door was gonna be, how far out the wall was gonna stick, trying to make sure that I wouldn't lose any of the pieces that I wanted to see. But I do have an issue of working from the outside in when building. I'm an inside-out kind of builder, and when it comes to hiding farms, it makes it so much harder to try and fit them in and hide them without it being too bulky of a process. So after trying again and again on the front of this building and hating every little bit of it, I moved back to my tried and true ways of inside out, trying to sort out a lobby and figure out how we were going to get villagers out of the system so that we could move them over onto Villager Island. I even gave Fosters, our first villager on the island, a job and a desk and a space in which to thrive. And then I returned back to doing the exterior. I was still having major issues with figuring out how this building was gonna flow. Because again, I enjoy full walkable interiors within my builds. So trying to sort that out has been a bit of a struggle when it came to this building. Because of how tall and narrow it is, I wasn't sure where I could put offices or stairways or elevators or anything like that. So I tried to give some decoration to the lights. And while trying to decide if I even liked my palette, the shapes, or any of that, I took a break and discovered another problem. I like that. Did he not make it all the way over? Or is he just not loaded? Wait, where's my zombie villager? The lights? Oh, no. Did he fall down? Wait. Where did he go? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Space program might have some bugs in it. Oh no. I hate everything about this building, by the way. Damn it, it did. He did go right back down. Oh no. I saw the second activation that time. Yeah. He died in the tube. Oh, like I know I had to take down all these walls that I've already built up. Oh, you're not making it all the way up. They didn't make it all the way up. They touched the water and came back down. Didn't they? And at this point, I feel like with it confirmed within this world and not the creative world, that they're going to fall down the middle of the tube. That this is the end of the villager space program. That everything we've just done over the last week and a half is getting torn down. The whole glass tube, everything I put up is getting torn down. Because I cannot risk under any circumstances them falling through there. Right? Because if I launch one of my 1 emerald iron, you know, 1 iron for 1 emerald villagers and it falls through the middle, I'm going to scream. Because I only have like 15 of those. So that's super disappointing. I'm so absolutely upset about this. We spent so long testing it. And yes, I know we did have villagers falling through on the test world, but that's when I was using water to load them. You're gonna fall through the middle. Every time now. Yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Because to do that, the only other thing I can think of is that this could probably be our trigger, but because the string double and triple click, the likelihood it would flip, flap, flip, and then flip open and the villager would fall through is really high. Because I'm not good enough at redstone to trust my skills yet to be like, oh yeah, it would just be this easy peasy simple thing. And I'm no longer going to be using tutorials. If I cannot figure it out on my own, I'm not using it in this world. I've already made that decision. And with the thought in mind that I'm only going to be doing things on my own so that I can learn redstone, I took a break from the idea of tearing down the entire VSP and instead removed the outside, which I absolutely abhorrently hate. It's hideous. So I tore it down while talking through the idea of possibly the catch and release of villagers for the VSP, because if I could, I wanted to save it at all costs. It's a fun idea to launch my villagers over here, see the lights, and know that they make it safely. But that is the key component. Make it safely. To lose any of my 1 emerald villagers at this rate would be absolutely devastating because I was not smart about it and did not make more before upgrading to 1.21. So they are the only ones in which I can get. And with the building entirely torn down, I jumped into a test world and began playing around. Now, I didn't record most of this because honestly I forgot, and in my creative world it doesn't automatically start replay mod, so this is about an hour in of trying multiple different things. But as you can see, I'm trying to use skulk sensors in order to trigger it and to hold it in place. In the end, I figured out how to do this effectively so that it'll catch the villagers every single time by registering the water and the sound of them swimming through it. With that in place, it was time to bring it into the actual hardcore world, which was pretty simple to build, and it only took me a few minutes. After that, it was time to test it. Villager after villager, I began testing it, only to discover that there were a few issues with it. The main one being zombie villagers. They don't swim like regular villagers, so sometimes they were sinking, which gave me a false sense of hope, because they would just eventually fall. And I was really worried that it wouldn't work until I discovered that. And with that in mind, it was time to start actually building out the VSP building now that it had been saved. Because now that we can successfully and safely move villagers over, the only thing left to do is make it look pretty. And the idea that this is actually a space testing facility is the one I went with, and I went back to my tried and true way of building from the inside out. I'm not good building outside in, especially since I do full interiors. So I'd rather go from the inside out to make sure all my interiors fit and the ideas flow, and from there, it was easy peasy to start getting this together. Okay, and here we have it so far. This is where I'm at the moment. We have the whole test tube filled in with Skulk. We replaced the glass with black glass so it fits in a bit better, so when they fly up you can actually see the villagers and it kind of looks like they're floating in a 0G tube, which I really like the idea of. We started out some possible labs here and here. We have the lobby, which this is gonna have to change. But I do like how this is coming together so far. I'm just a bit concerned that the blue concrete and the blue concrete of the bank are a bit too close together when we fly in. So I'm not sure if it's a bit more hidden or not, but it is a concern that I'm having. So I have to figure that out. I'm not particularly happy with the outside. It's very flat, it's very boring, it needs texture, it needs depth. I'm not sure how I'm gonna go about that, but I do have a bit of ideas on how to fix it. But if we take a wander in here, this is where the doors would be. We have our fake artwork. This is where Foster's is gonna sit, but they're currently in there for their own safety. This is gonna be like a little break room for Foster's and some like storage. We have the keypad so people will be able to boop, 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 get in. This will be the elevator all the way up. We have a little observation room here to watch villagers launch from down below. We have our pickup system here. I'm gonna put a door here so, you know, people don't come in and out with a fake keypad again. Down here is gonna be some locker rooms and maybe some testing facilities over here for different things. So like, instead of just like the 0Gs, they can do like pressure tests or oxygen tests or whatever. So we're gonna do that. This is how we'll cross over. I'd have to get some walls in here, but I'm really happy with how this is starting to come together. We have the start of the lab up here, which we'll be able to watch through here. I think there'll be nice big glass walls through here, as well as through here. This is gonna stay a glass wall so that we can watch them, you know, fly up through the 0Gs. That's the catch and release. But I do really like how this is going together. I do think we need to collect a bit more supplies, I think. I need white terracotta, not white terracotta, white concrete. Because I have a lot of the cyan. I do have some. But I think I want to add a lot of white to this. And then have the blue, the yellow, and the red for the Wandering Trader colors to be a bit more of an accent instead of the solid colors, because they are very garish and very in your face. So I think we're gonna jump to that, get a little bit more white concrete going, and get to building out maybe the front of this. I'm not sure what I'm doing with the side here because I don't know what's going here. I haven't planned that far ahead, but let's get some concrete powder and get to building. After getting the white concrete powder together, I tore down the front to try and figure out where I was going to put it. I wanted this to have a more angular look to it. I tend to lean into curves and circles in Minecraft. I do prefer them when I'm building, and I wanted to challenge myself to something a bit more angular, a bit more square. And in the end, hated every single thing I built. I was just having one of those building days where nothing looks good, where I hate every block choice, every block placement, and in the end, tore it all down. With it all torn down, I went to a more neutral palette because I was hoping that maybe that would help bring in more of the blues, the reds, and the golds when paired with it, so they would have a bit more of a pop. And I played around with all the different kinds of ways I could bring those colors in before I ended up with this sort of almost apartment building like structure where I was trying to figure out how offices would work, how labs would work, and the placement of all of the blocks and the interiors. In the end, though, I did not like the apartment-like state of things. The windows were too symmetric, there was just too many issues, so I tore it down and gave myself a new idea after talking with my chat about how this is actually working. Wandering traders always have trees and saplings and greenery, so what if, and here's a thought, wandering traders are helping you to terraform your lands. They are space rangers, essentially, that help you terraform. So with thinking about what the wandering trader brings you, I was going to make an aquarium out front. We could put all the tropical fish and the pufferfish out front in the aquarium, and then have a bunch of greenhouses for all of the other things that he brings you, and have it look like they're testing how those might work within those environments. The problem I realized after putting up this wall that would be the interior of the aquarium is it's the exact same palette as the train station roof, and when walking on the street it begins to blend together. So that idea was immediately out, and with that thought I left it there to maybe see if I could try and figure it out and work it out later, and moved to the upper portion of the building where I made a curved sort of wall to connect the launcher and what would be the labs, where we were going to put a bunch of greenhouses behind all of those windows. And I'm really happy with how this shape has turned out. This is something that I think needs to be shown a lot more in Minecraft videos. The trial and error and struggle of building and figuring out what exactly works for a build that you're making. With this front shape mostly sorted, the lower portion not included, it kind of sparked that fire. I knew exactly what I was going to be doing with the side of the building, with the back of the building. Idea after idea began to flow. Alright, and here we have it. I'm so happy with this shape. I still have to figure out what's happening here, but we'll get into that in a minute while we take a gander around. This shape, we're going to put a nice logo on here. I do like the idea that this might still be a greenhouse here, but in and around here, we are going to have greenhouses. Each one of these are going to be different floors. We're going to change up some of the glass here. Like this one has blue instead of the cyan, so we're going to end up making this real dark, like they're trying to grow things in low light. We have back here what I'm looking forward to the most. We are going to take this space here that I filled in with glass and the skulk, and we are going to put llamas and villagers in there on glass. So it looks like they're floating and they're testing flight systems and landing systems. I do want to sort out this light as well over here, because it is moving a bit too much, I think. I want to trigger it faster, but not all the time. I'm not entirely sure, since we are going to have people floating on glass panes. Our llamas are over here. We have them already sectioned off into pairs. Bob and Linda are a pair, and the two unnamed ones are a pair as well. So they're gonna go in there, and that will be the last thing that we do. For now, though, we need to return to both the front here, but I want to finish the back because we are going to do this backspace here. I need to figure out if I want to keep them weathered or oxidized. And then, let me land over here real quick so it's easier to see. Once we have the exterior figured out, we're going to do a lot of piping and ductwork. We're going to do a bunch of fans and a lot of other little details on the outside because this is very, very flat. And I am tempted, if we pop back over here again, flying all around. But I look at things from all angles all the time like this. I can't help it. I think over here I do want to bring this out more. I'm thinking this is going to be my nether portal building, I think. The nether portal is on the other side, way over there. So I'd much rather it be here where we could then walk across to the library where I'll probably spend most of my time trading and all of that. So I think that'll be fun. Or have it at the top so I can fly off to wherever. But then I think this one will be a greenhouse and part of this industrial complex. So I think I want to pull this front side out a bit to kind of section this off from the street. We're gonna do a nice walkway down here and into the water where it looks like they're getting deliveries, and we're gonna do some delivery doors and things like that. All those little details is what we're gonna get into right now. Okay, and here we have it. The Star Trader program. My villager launcher, all decorated. Now, out here on the outside, if we look at this, we have some pipe work here that I'm not particularly happy with. I feel like it needs to go into something or something like that. We have in here a nice little generator that is making power and keeping the tank clean. It's pulling that power out and through these into the system for the whole building. And again, I think it still needs something. I just don't know what to put there. I spent a good while trying to figure it out the other day. We have water systems being brought in from the tank on top, and we have a full interior. If we head over here, we can walk in and meet Fosters. I heard an Enderman and I'm gonna lose it. My game is broken. Endermen are the bane of my existence. The other day we had one that was glitching everywhere and it was a problem, and now they're back. But we get to greet Fosters here in the lobby. Plenty of paintings. Our wonderful tank here. And some seats to wait. But if we pop back here, we have a little bit of storage, a bunch of files, all of those things. We have a little keypad where we could boop, 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 and come on in to where you can watch a lot of the testing happen. And so we've got some benches, we got some posters, some promotionals. This is you, you could be a wandering trader posters. I didn't do down here as this is going to connect on over to that building there, which is going to be the llama training facility. So we haven't done that. And so there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done in here still. But if we come through here, nope, not yet. If we come through here, we have a little bay door on the side for where we'll be able to see the villagers land safely after they've taken their test flight. Out here on the outside still as well, we come down here to the dock system. I didn't finish it because, again, I want to do the llama trading facility so we can figure that out. Before we do that, we have a little bay door that needs some stuff. We got lights going. I'm trying to wait for them to all oxidize so they are all scraped. We have our ladder all the way to the roof. Once the training facility is done and this whole corner is done, we are going to put a villager and some llamas in here to look like they're floating, and thus the star trading program will be done. But this video is taking a hot minute. We have some more stuff out here. Again, I think it needs to go into something, but I haven't been able to figure that out. I'm not good with technological stuff, so this is me going outside my comfort zone and doing a lot more details than I normally would. I really like how it's coming together, but I am struggling just a wee bit, right? So if we pop into the elevator here and we climb to the first floor, all the floors are inspired by things the wandering trader would sell, because again, this is where villagers train to be wandering traders before they are launched to be annoying at your world. And so we have the dye floor. We have a bunch of dyes ready to go, some little sample ones ready, some bottles and books here. If we come over here, we have an area where we bake the dyes down into their dry form. We have all the little vats where we're making all the dyes before we start to roll them up into the putty. Right now, white, pink, purple, green, and, well, I guess lime and orange are being made. Over here, we have the primary colors of yellow, cyan, and magenta. So we can either make those right here, or the cart is picking up the correct amount needed to deposit into each one of these to make the specific colors. As I'm imagining, these are actually like the liquid that's dripping down here. And then all of that. I need to get some books in here for bottles. We have somebody rolling this up. The oven is not on because there is space because somebody is working here. I really liked using the sticky piston for the candle since they're both the same color. Again, we have another little area here for files. We need to fill this out with all the books for the different bottles and dyes and stuff like that. If we pop up here, we have the tree level, which has a greenhouse in it. So we have all of the trees here. We're growing plenty of saplings to be sold to you on your worlds. Some berries, which I don't remember if they actually sell or not, but I wanted a nice pop of red. We have plenty of saplings here being tested and figured out. We have a area to pot and unpot them. We got our lily pads. We got a coral. We got the mini drip leaf. I'm not particularly happy with this right here. This looks nice from the inside, but from the outside, it's a bit meh. But we have our birch tree growing. We got an acacia tree. We got some greens here to symbolize the seeds that are sold, because I didn't want to just put melons and pumpkins because that's kind of bulky. We have a mangrove tree, some sugar cane. This is again our power system here. And then we have an area here with all of our bucket idiots. I do have to put the puffer fish back in because they were a problem. I keep losing fish. They keep stupidly coming up here and dying. I don't understand fish AI at all. We have our little turtle boy who is actually stuck right there, and I feel bad, but according to the wiki, he's fine. He's just doing what he do. Right. If we come up another level, we have the flower floor, where we have all the flowers that are being sold and some that the wandering trader is still trying to sort out how to get to you and your location. So all the 2 tall flowers are here, but we have plenty of flowers on this floor. We can also see testing going on. We got plenty of bags of fertilizer, one that's in dire need of rescue, some boxes and bookshelves. We got Lily of the Valley growing out of some podzol and some, manure. We got a guy doing research on flowers. We can see out to the train station, and we'll be able to have a view of what else we built on the island. The next floor up is, in fact, the mushroom level. I wanted to do mushrooms because I feel like Wandering Traders should sell mushrooms. I don't know if they do, but they have not quite sorted it out yet, so they are struggling. This is a test to see if they can move the big old mushrooms to you. But I feel like they picked the wrong floor with 2 windows to be growing mushrooms in. And I do really like the darker glass here, so it is showing that it is a darker, low light area. So I got plenty of bags of fertilizer again, different mushrooms growing here. We got a bunch of sinks because mushrooms like when it's damp and sterile. And because of that dampness, we have where you would get your dripstone from the Wandering Trader, and a couple crystals, which have started growing. They haven't figured out how to sell them to you yet, but it's a work in progress. And through here we do have an office where this guy is ordering a lunch and keeping an eye on one lone mushroom that has so far been surviving in a pot, meaning it's possible they could sell you the mushrooms. And then after the mushroom floor, again, we can still see that always jump scares me, but we can still see the boys going up. Up here, we have the Wandering Trader's office in general. We have a pen for his llamas, but he is currently out, so he and his llamas are not here. His secretary has taken the day off. And back through here is his office with his nice blue and red rug and excuse you, that was very loud. A nice golden chair. We have the world in which he wants to conquer with all of his goods. And we have all of his records, as there are many holes, because let's be real, many Wandering Traders do not bring back anything and are never seen from or heard from again, as is expected. So we have plenty of holes. We got a nice little bar and coffee machine. I'm really happy with how this whole building has turned out. Again, there are some things I'm still working on, but this video is getting rather long. And I've spent a whole week just designing the whole building, all of the interiors. I mean, this whole interior, I did on like it took 10 hours just to do the interior for this whole thing. And the exterior portions that are out there that are meh. And so it's been quite the grind for this, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. It looks really cool from within the city. Like over here down in the city, this looks really cool on the horizon. Walking through here, it's got a good feel, right? And then if we come up here, seeing it from Lurch's house, which is where we'll see it from the most. I just like it. Again, I think something needs to be here. I feel like things need to be here. I just don't know what. But I really like how this looks, especially at night. It's got a good feel to it. So if we're even flying around. So even if we're flying around, just seeing inside the windows like that. I love seeing things in the windows like this. It makes me so happy. This is what I strive for in my world. A fully walkable, fully engaged world. The only reason there are empty apartments is for my viewers on Twitch, and if it wasn't for that, I would be doing full interiors on all of them, because this just looks so cool. I love it. If we pop over here, even if we walk down here, oh, it's so good. Especially, a lot of this view is probably going to get covered by the next building we're going to do in the next video, because we are going to be working on this corner to finish this section out and round out the river. This is going to be the portal building. It'll be kind of tall, so we may not see this exact view from the street here. I feel like there'll be a building like right here blocking it, but the llama trading building is going to be kind of short. So we'll have tall, medium, right about there, and then short. So I think that'll be a good silhouette and horizon line. But again, this is getting rather long, so thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I've been RayneofKalamity. Feel free to hit that like button or subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.